It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. My oh my, it's a wonderful day. Oh, well. We're at it again. And waking up to mere nigger bullshit. Had some real serious issues with a lot of things that people say in this day and age. In these dark days of time where, and just to give a disclosure, if you believe in real consciousness, because niggas nowadays think that consciousness is about smoking weed and getting your mind right. Niggas nowadays think that consciousness means that, you laid out a bitch and, when she's soaking wet in the bed and call yourself, the Don Juan, pimping hoes or whatever, whatnot, doing what you do on a regular damn basis and getting, chump change, rent money for it. Don't even know a goddamn thing about ownership. Oh, I own my own car, I own my own house. Good for you. Where's your acres of land? But that's a whole different story. Oh boy. I guess this is it's very sad. It's very sad that the world we live in. And Malcolm X highlighted a lot of things. Martin Luther King, as brilliant as he was, not only as a pastor, but an activist in black society. But if they were here right now, I don't know if they can do that again. Dr. Claude Anderson laid out a platform, because if you didn't want to follow that other guy, if you didn't want to help or even realize and analyze what he's actually saying, but you keep throwing the same stupid ass questions at him each and every single time, and he's answered it for the past 5 years, and people keep saying 10 years, it's 10 years he's been coming up with that school. No, it hasn't. I mean, pretty much be rolling their graves right now. Because what you people want, what you people desire, is government. Relying on the government to do what you are scared to do. Because you're scared of white people. You're scared. You're scared to death. You're scared to death at the police. You're scared to death at the president, which ain't scary at all. You're scared of Congress. You're scared of Department of Treasury. You're scared at the Supreme Court. You're scared of all these other things, and thinking that underground stuff is the only way to go. It helps. It helps, but that's not the end all be all. And then this knucklehead, um, comedic in conscience, I guess is what he labels himself, is no different from Jamal, is no different from the other guy, is no different from Tommy Sotomayor, I can say Tommy Sotomayor is at least a little bit more intelligent than this Negro. I will give him that. Is a little bit more intelligent. As a matter of fact, a lot more intelligent than comedian and consciousness. Consciousness cookies, huh? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone because I'm an '80s baby and I don't feel like going through all this acronyms and ad libs and Meg the Stallion, Cardi B bullshit. The point of all of what Dr. Umar Johnson is doing is you make it all about him. You make it all about what he is doing, what he is saying. And you go, oh, wait, who is this nigga? That's what you say. Who is this nigga? And you go into your little computer or you go on a little cell phone. Yeah, that's all you do. You don't read no books. You don't share no knowledge. Don't no, I take that back. You do share knowledge. You share knowledge of how to roll a blunt. You share knowledge about how to hustle something. We all know how to hustle. That ain't nothing new. You make these. It is not just you. It is not just him. I'm still waiting on the guy that said that he was unfit to coach, uh, be a principal of, manage. I'm still waiting on the guy that said that he was a fraud and he's mishandling the funds, and the same guy that said that he was mistreating single black women. I'm still waiting on that guy. He ain't made not one comment yet. Not one comment. I honestly want to hear from that guy because we want to have some interesting dialogue. Because none of you make sense. This world has changed. The Book of Negroes. That was good. The Book of Negroes is what you need to be in. But I'm not going to keep going into all of that. This world is in danger. This world is in danger. You love a currency so much, it doesn't have your face on it. Don't that make you curious on why a dollar bill does not have your face on it? That you are not a currency and your slave masters are? Doesn't that make you wonder? And I guess this guy he was all over the place stating that how you start building up your communities, it starts at home. Taking care of your family and paying your bills and blah, blah. Okay, that's basic shit. Next. And then you went on churches. Now, I will say this about churches. At least we had churches back then when we had church meetings. We don't have church meetings. Not anymore, obviously. But back in the day when I was growing up, we had church meetings. And we had one of those, we developed a community watch. We developed a community watch, and then it kind of went away because of all the funding and of the pastor wanted to build up another church or whatever. And, unfortunately, reverends, pastors got bought. So there was no community, there was no church leaders anymore. Now all you have is people who, lawyers and legislators that basically crave money. The lawyer for Breonna Taylor, he took. He was a taker. He took. I would say people that are in your schools, depending on where you come from, depending on where you live, they're takers. Not only do they take, but they do not educate as much as a person, not Umar Johnson per se, but a person who would have African, um, who would basically talk about African history. And I'm talking real African history. On beyond that, you want to educate your children to not necessarily go to college. Because college, believe it or not, believe me, I've been there. College ain't nothing but a money grab. At least when you go to trade school, you have your degree, you go out and you basically um, uh, sell yourself. You basically sell yourself. And when you're in and you make at least 5 to 7 figures. That is what Umar's been talking about all along, is educating our children the proper way, leading them away from the school to prison pipeline, leading them away from the drugs, not necessarily collecting the check. I always love collecting checks, but you want something more than that. And that's what Umar is talking about. Anybody can talk to you about, you know, uh, um, um, ownership and getting power and resources, but you choose to ignore the obvious. Instead, you want to focus on where is he getting the money? Where the money at? Where the money at? He's a fraud. He's this. He's that. Where the money at? Where the money at? Where the school at? Where the book at? Where this at? Where that at? Why is he yelling? Why is he yelling and screaming? Why ain't nobody get... What is this fucking bullshit, yo? Bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Shut up. Anyway. All that talk. All this and that and this and the third. And none of it makes sense. None of it makes no type of sense. We are at a race war. And the only thing you can come up with is where's the money? Or what have I heard? How long have you been building this school? How long, when is the school going to open up? Where the money at? Where the book at? So on and so on and so forth. Oh, why is he yelling and screaming? Why is is he guilty? Does he have something to hide? How come he can't answer these questions? How come he can't answer these questions? We need to research him. If you researched him, then you might have gone down a little bit further. Scroll down just a little bit further to, I believe, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. And if you would listen with your conscious mind instead of your dumbass mind, maybe, just maybe, it will make sense. But niggas love to do it their own way, which I don't knock, but will it work long term? What you do is what you do. But in the meanwhile, these people out here who own and control all or most of the resources, The next one is China. You don't never go in on China. You don't never go in on Trump. You don't never go in on Nancy Pelosi. You don't never go in on Chuck Schumer. You don't never go in on some of these CNN and Fox News analysts, Sean Hannity, um, the Combs guy. What was his name? Bill O'Reilly. You don't never go in on these jokers. Never. But you'll go on a person who's building or rebuilding the school to kill the annihilation treatment of black boys and black girls of America. That's just sad. But as the sun keeps shining, birds keep chirping, Mother Nature keeps forming, Father Time keeps on winning. I hope you Negroes keep growing old. I mean that. I hope you Negroes keep growing old and senile, because weed does not help. Any type of drug does not help you. Talking baby talk definitely does not help you. All that mumble rap that you listen to definitely does not help you. If I'll tell you this, if you don't like, or if you dislike him, and I'm talking about Umar Johnson altogether, why don't you just leave this man alone? It's like you big bullies. You pick on people constantly, and it makes no sense. Just leave him alone. Let him do what the man does, and that'll be that. But no, you keep pouring on, and you do this for views. I don't do this for views. I do this as a cry for help. Because what happened to that poor little old girl could have happened. No, I'm sorry. What happened to Philando Castile could have happened to that poor little old girl you seem to ignore. Put Philando Castile's little daughter and trade him to Emmett Till. Oh, there'll be niggas lined up around and destroying this world from the inside out. But since we're talking about a mere boy that got beat to death, now things change later on, and we got the school to prison pipeline, miseducation, drugs, hypersensitive drugs that have side effects this world has ever seen. Headache, constant diarrhea, kidney functions, stuff like that. But you get $1,000 check every month. I want $1,000 check every month to go through all that. Okay. And then things change, but they're still lynching you, but things change. Policies keep changing, and the world keeps changing. The goalpost keeps changing. Colin Kaepernick takes a knee. You say he's a sucker for what he's doing, but yet, and you are right, one person cannot change a whole world. You are damn right. You are not God. None of us are. but the God in him, the God in me, the God is someone who is conscious. See, you think you follow God. Who is your God? Is he blonde? He must be blonde hair and blue eye because you are scared of the police. And as he and others stated, the person you fear is your God. So keep being afraid of people that what can they do that they haven't done already? You're gonna do a whole bunch of marching, you're gonna do a whole bunch of preaching, you're gonna do a whole bunch of YouTube talk, but you ain't gonna do nothing constructive. You ain't gonna buy a piece of land. You ain't gonna construct, you ain't gonna gather up, organize your warriors. You ain't gonna organize nobody. You ain't gonna organize anybody, man. You ain't conscious of nothing, man. You a clown. You a comedian, all right. You's a clown, man. You's a clown, straight up. And I'll be getting on that other broad in a second. But I want to get on you because while you're all over the place and talking a whole, talking a whole bunch of noise, Umar putting in work. And it's not just Umar that's putting in work. Other people and other, YouTube members of the spectrum. I mean, if we didn't have YouTube, what would we be doing? What would we be doing with our lives? If we didn't have a cell phone, what would we be doing? Still talking, still smoking, still getting STDs, still talking shit, still looking at basketball, still buying Jordan, still playing video games. I bet you got yourself an Xbox. I bet you got yourself an Xbox. I bet you got yourself a PlayStation. Oh, that ain't, and just in case that ain't me. You don't know what you talking about. Of course I do. You're a baby. You're a infant in a grown man ass body. Don't know shit from Shinola. You're ignoring the obvious. You're ignoring the obvious of the point that this man is doing. And let's forget about Umar. Let's forget about Umar. What about Claude Anderson? Why don't you look him up? Why don't you look him up? Boyce Watkins, even though I don't listen to his channel very much. Why don't you go look at Boyce Watkins? Tariq Nasheed. Why don't you go look at his channel? There are basically people who give you certain information and certain ideas. Are you taking those ideas to heart? Are you taking what Umar Johnson, what he is saying to heart? No, you're not. Because if you did, you would get off of his ass, go out here and start protecting our children. No matter hell or high water, whether it be mentally, physically, education, economic, you would be doing that. That's how it starts. It starts when it comes to all these meetings that we should be in and not YouTube. I love it. I missed it when we were face to face. I miss those face to face meetings. It's all about YouTube and Zoom, which I don't mind Zoom. But to merely look you dead in your eye and say you are either with us or you against us. You either on the boat or you're on the boat. And I can also look you into your eye and say you are nothing but a liar. Or I can look at you and I can say, now, there's a person that I can build an idea from. That's what this whole point is about. But you make it about something else. So guess what? As far as I'm concerned, you are an African American. So stay that way. You are not African. You're nothing but a piece of filth, a hypocrite, a nobody, a nothing, a peon, a piece of shit that I step on every day when I'm at work. You don't know nothing about Africa. You don't know an African civilization, even if you Google it. Did you know that Google, did you know that the dictionaries, did you know all these other things, even the Bible, are changed their content is changed every single year? Did you know that? So whatever you look up is going to be fraudulent. You don't have the guts to go to the motherland and do research for your fucking self because you're fucking selfish, but yet you're going after somebody who has literally gone to Africa 3 times, actually 4. Gone to Africa 4 times and been with the mother Usha over there. Been with the mother Usha over here and over there and in different countries. You ain't been gone to mother continent just once. If I would have saved up my money, I would have went with my aunt years ago. But yet I end up going, so I had to go back to where I live, which is back in Lansing, Michigan, because my mother was sick. If I had the money, I would definitely go. I have a desire to go. You don't. And even if you were there, you don't get it. That's what this man represents. He's bringing our people back to African consciousness, you piece of shit. I don't feel I can explain myself even further because you are African American, which means you do not deviate from what Donald Trump says. You do not deviate what Biden says. You do not deviate from anybody, Republican or Democrat, and they're the wings of the same damn fucking bird. You're sleeping with the enemy, so stay in the bed with the enemy. While the rest of us goes back to the original. And you know what the original is? Certainly ain't you.